It's game day with Little Caesars, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. Order online for pizza delivery or pizza portal pickup. Week 9 of the NFL season, the official halfway point is upon us. We are heavy NFC right now, set to dive into the matchups in Atlanta, Detroit, Arizona, and Tampa Bay. Sportsline analyst Jason Canfora is here to help us do just that. Jason, the NFC to me feels a little off this season, in part because the Buccaneers and the Rams have losing records. They play Sunday in Tampa with the Bucs favored by a field goal. What interests you here?
I'm going under, guys. These two teams are broken right now, and I don't know that Sean McVay has enough players to move the football, and I don't know that Byron Leftwich has enough ideas. He seems to kind of want to stick with what he's done, and it's not working to this point. We got the 25th scoring team in the league, the 28th scoring team in the league, the two worst rushing offenses in the NFL. They can't do it well, but they have to keep doing it because it's the only way to keep their quarterbacks upright, because both offensive lines find themselves broken and a shell of what they've been in years past. I'm not buying either passing game right now. Cooper Kupp is obviously the main guy with the Rams. They say he's going to play, but he's been beat up. That's suboptimal. Neither team did anything to get any better at the deadline. The under's 11-4 with these two this year, and I have to see it to believe it if there actually is going to be real change here and real offensive growth. Tampa has the better opportunity because they have the better talent over time, but right now I think these two conspire to play an ugly under football game.
Let's take a look at an NFC West matchup where the division-leading Seahawks take on the bottom-dwelling Cardinals. Arizona is favored by 2, but historically they have struggled against divisional opponents. Kyler Murray just 5-14 against the NFC West. The Seahawks roll into Arizona, having won and covered 3 straight. JLC, how do you see it?
I like Seattle here. I feel like in this division, some of these matchups, if you pay historical attention to them, they tell the tale. And we've seen that like with Rams 49ers, and this is another one. Seattle 6-2-1 against the spread. Its last 9 trips to Arizona. Katie, you said it. Kyler Murray stinks against this division. He's 6-11-1 against the spread in divisional games. These two played a couple weeks ago. It was 19-9. It was ugly. Seattle's the better coach team. Seattle is the more consistent team. And Seattle will stick with that run game, and they're more apt and prone to win ugly. I'll take those 2 points with Seattle. I think we're looking at an under game here. I do have a little concern about Geno Smith. I would fade his yardage props.
Ooh.
He's not great against the blitz. Wink Martindale and the Giants does it the most. He did it a fair amount last week. He couldn't do it as much as he wanted because of game flow, and them not really the special teams turnovers and all that. Arizona's second highest blitz rate in the NFL. Geno only had 197 against these guys, Arizona, last time out. 250.5. I don't think he gets there.
If either two of you are like me at all, you keep thinking one of these Sundays, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will actually have a good day. Well, playing at Detroit, the team with the worst record in the league, provides hope for the Pack. Green Bay favored by 3.5, and the over-under is 49.5, Jason. What's your play on this one?
It's now or never, and I'll make the play on now. I like the over here. The Lions have lost 5 in a row. They're giving up 32 points a game in that span. They're a horrific defense all the way across the board. We saw Tua bombs away on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers finally started to push the ball downfield in the second half of that game against Buffalo. Green Bay rolls up about 30 a game against these guys historically. And the games they played last year, one total was, I think, 52. The other was 60-something. They both easily went over this number. I like Green Bay to get over 26.5, their team total. I think they score into the 30s. That pushes this game over because Green Bay's defense is a problem too. And DeAndre Swift's back. You're going to see some interesting stuff in the run game. I think explosive plays in the run game for the Lions. So I'm going over here, guys. And yeah, if you can't get healthy against the Lions, then you might want to pack your bags and stay home.
Now or never for the Packers. I will say they did cover for me last week just by half of a point there. All right, Jason, casual bettors or casual viewers of the NFL, they only care about who's going to win the game, but us sports gamblers, we care about who's going to cover. And the Falcons have been a safe bet against the spread this season at 6-2. They're also 3-0 as home dogs. Atlanta finding themselves in that spot again with the Chargers, who are favored by 3. LA is fresh off a bye, but Atlanta has been a covering machine. Which way are you leaning on this one?
I'm going over. These teams have played weird games with crazy game flow, with bizarre fourth quarters, but there's been a lot of points, especially when they've played against defenses that stink. Both these defenses stink. The 10-5, these teams are going over. This season, I believe it continues here. The Chargers off a bye. If ever someone in that organization was going to tell offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi that you've got Justin Herbert, not Marcus Mariota, push the ball downfield, I have to think that starts here against an Atlanta pass defense that's worst in the league in a lot of categories and decimated at the corner position. Marcus Mariota, he is bombs away. He leads the league in net air yards per attempt. Well, guess what? The Chargers are more than willing to give you yards on the ground or through the air. I think both these teams can move the ball more or less at will. You're talking about two of the bottom three defenses in the NFL in terms of points allowed per drive, two of the bottom five defenses in the NFL in yards allowed per play. Atlanta gives up the most passing yards. The Chargers give up the most yards per carry. And we've really seen Atlanta lean into the downfield passing game, and both will get explosive plays on the ground. I'm going over.
All right, Jason, thinking about throwing the ball all over the yard, this is where we open it up. We don't pin you down to one game. We let you scan the field, throw wherever you would like. What's your best bet of this NFL weekend?
I like the Buffalo Bills to do the job on the Jets. That's been around 12.5. It got down to 11.5 right now. I love it there. You're talking about a Bills team that beat the Jets by 17 points or more twice last year. If you think Zach Wilson looks bad right now and he's seeing ghosts, go watch him Week 18 against the Bills team with not much to play for. And a Bills defense that's not what it is this year. They're going to sack him. He's got a 7.1 passer rating against pressure. The Bills generate top four pressure, and they do it by blitzing the least. Leslie Frazier can sit back, play different coverages. That's going to force Wilson into more interceptions. There's no money to be made on that now because there's no value in betting his interceptions. But I like the Jets not to score 17 points. I'll fade them there. And this is a Bills team that's going to keep its foot on the pedal after, Katie, that backdoor cover that you mentioned, and Josh Allen knowing they left points on the field. Not against this Jets team today. Buffalo has 13 wins by 14 points or more since the start of last season. No other team in the NFL has even 10. And this Jets defense is better. But let's be real. They played the broken Packers offense, the broken Broncos offense, a broken Patriots offense. This is a very different divisional test. Josh Allen has owned these guys. He will own them again. They will cover, and the Jets will not hit 17 points.
Like the conviction and the perspective there, Jason. Thank you. Quick recap. Jason likes two struggling offenses to score less than they're supposed to in Tampa. He says take the points and the Seahawks, take the over in Detroit and Atlanta, and loves the Bills to cover the 11.5, and says the Jets are going to score less than 16.5 at MetLife.
All right, JLC, you've given us your game picks. Now it's time to throw a few into a parlay. What have you cooked up for us?
Yeah, let's take the Seahawks on the money line. I think they're the better team. I think they're going to win that game outright. I'm not worried about the 2 points right there. You guys know I feel like there'll be a lot of scoring plays, a lot of bizarro game flow in that Chargers-Falcons game. That's just who those teams are. Points are baked into that cake. I'm going to go with that going over. And look, I just said I think the Bills destroy the Jets, so let's have them cover as well.
JLC, thank you so much for your insight and for your time. Let's go ahead and take a second look at that parlay. Well, Jason likes a three-teamer, but with a little bit of everything. Seahawks money line, the over in the Chargers-Falcons, and the Bills to cover the 11.5-point spread. Odds to hit at plus 665, excuse me.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.